one we're going
Welcome
to
to part 3 on how to mix paint for pouring. We're making Mystical Blue.
on my Floetrol. Now, because of some of the things I'm going to be making with this next one, so we've made the white, we've made the gold, now we're making this dark blue. Arts Minds used to make what was called, I think it was Art Minds, Mistake, I think it was called. But anyway, it was a type of dark blue that seemed to have the ability to change tones. So it had almost like a green, purple, blue, black, all mixed up together. So I know that it has metallic in it. So for that, we're going to use bronze textured metallic. This is the thickest. Then this is a nice dark blue. It's called dark denim. It's very dark. It's very clean. You don't want to stick anything into paint that's been contaminated. Even another color of paint could contaminate it. So you're going to want to just slowly mix it up. Seems like Americana Decor paints have a little bit of oil or some kind of content in them that separates, and we want to stir that back in. Again, I'm keeping my stick touching the bottom of the bottle. Okay, then I want another container. I want another stick to use in this container. However, it needs to be fat, so I can push against the sides. I'm going to set that one here. Then we need a big one to mix it with. That's what we have here. And then we need the blue, just a regular good old blue. Then we might put a little bit of the Prussian blue in it, as well as, I have a hard time pronouncing this, dioxazine purple, to make this intensely dark metallic color. Okay, so start off with a little bit of Floetrol. Now granted, we're going to add more, but right now we're making just enough to have. Okay, so whatever color you have on the bottom, you don't want it to be so thick that you can't get it off the bottom. So that's why the Floetrol is in the bottom of the cup. And so I'm going to add some of my
Artist Loft Flow Acrylic Blue.
straining. I have found that this bottle of blue apparently had been somehow exposed to air or something, so it has been in trouble from day one. And it's loose, so it'll go through the strainer pretty quickly, and then I'll pour a little bit of Floetrol to get it to go all the way through. But this will thicken our Floetrol a little bit, and then it'll allow us to mix the other thick components.
Most of the bottles that I've gotten, I don't have to strain. These particular bottles, the white and the blue, had issues at the beginning that required me to strain them, and I'm continuing to strain them. This doesn't typically happen though. I just want to let you know that this is taking much longer than it would typically take.
The stick looks pretty clean, so I'm going to use it to go ahead and scrape this off the bottom. I'm going to hold it while I pour Floetrol through. And you can see how blue the Floetrol is. That's getting the paint. Okay, now If it was coming right out of the tube like this, I need to put it in a different container first. Or I need to make sure I smash it up against the side of the cup. So let's make this as thick as we can first. So I'm going to put the denim in. And that's about, oh, I'd say half a tablespoon. And then stirring, not so relevant. This, let's see how this is, this textured paint. It's gorgeous. I'm putting it on here without contaminating my stick because I'm going to have to put more in there. This isn't as much as I want, but I want to do this first. So I take this and I push it up against the side of the cup, and I pretty much try to blend the metallic, thick, textured paint into just a little portion of the cup of paint. Now, this might be getting air in it, but right now it's more important to make sure I get all of the paint mixed inside there. Okay, once I feel and see that what I had on the side has been mixed in, a tablespoon, I'd say. I should really measure it out, but I'm visualizing. And it has to fall off, so some of it is staying on the stick, so maybe it's less than a tablespoon. Then I'm going to push it against the side again. I'm going to watch it very closely. I just try to keep it right there on the edge. If I just dropped it in here and tried to mix it, I would have all kinds of little pieces all over. Fully moving my stick a little bit farther down the cup and on each side, allowing the metallic paint to incorporate into all of the paint instead of just a little tiny bit. And scrape the sides, go to the bottom of the cup, mix. So now we have something interesting. We're going to take this little container and we're going to put just a little bit of this in here. Super thick. This Prussian blue tube paint, super thick. Okay, then we're going to also put our Liquitex Basic Dioxazine, and I'm going to squirt that in here too, as at the end, about the same amount. And we're going to go ahead and use this clean stick. We're going to mix this. So let's go ahead and put some more Floetrol in it. Just this is going to dilute it. And yes, I didn't put it through the strainer. And again, you're going to want to try to get the stick to stay at the bottom. Okay, so I might have said that, 9 times right now. Okay, so we've had part 1 to mix the gold, part 2 to mix the white, and part 3 mixing this unique blue. And this blue is really showing you how to mix all different kinds. Tube paint, texture paint, bottle paint. And so now we have this wonderful color, and it's super thick, and we can't have it that thick. If we put it that thick in here, it's going to be really hard to stir. So I'm going to dilute it with its own color. Take it like this, put it on the stick, and without so much paint, it's not going to want to slide off as easily, so that's going to help us in mixing. So I'll be able to put it up against the cup, mix it, keeping my thumb where my stick is going to be so that I can incorporate the paint. You can even hear the difference. I am really pushing and using the stick at different angles to try to get the thick paint to mix. I remember seeing Gina DeLuca and Sarah Mack both doing this kind of mixture technique, and being fascinated. Like it's, I used to mix buttercream in all different colors, and never had to worry about the different textures. I was always focusing on getting the color to be correct. So I need to just go ahead and pour it down the side of the cup now. The thickness of our paint is actually becoming closer together. There's so much thick paint in here though. I'll show you what we're going to do to handle that momentarily. So again, I start off on the side, put my little finger on this. See how I've put my little finger down here, so there's no way of losing the paint, the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Floetrol right into the cup, all the way to the top. And I'm going to try to get as much of the paint out of this container. And then pour it in. One more cup of Floetrol. Check. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a little bit more of this really quickly. And if anyone wonders why I didn't add any green, since I talked about the purple and the blue and green, is because the bronze will give that little bit of hint of green anyway. So that's when you've got a lot of the bronze, a little bit of the blue, and this is even more of the bronze. So this looks a lot like the color. So I'm going to just keep some of it. I'm going to wipe off the outside layer. This is the color we have. Now, it's going to look like, sometimes the Floetrol can make it look a little lighter, but then it returns quickly. Okay, so our blue is made, and Floetrol can make it look a little lighter, but then it returns quickly. Okay, so our blue is made, and we need to put some Ziploc bag over it, right the rim. It'll keep the Ziploc baggie clean. You don't want the inside of the Ziploc baggie to get dried paint, because then it will fall into your cup. But there we have it. And the white, I'm going to put into the cup of water, both the strainers, and that way I can clean them later at my convenience and not worry about them drying out. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon when we add these paints to a canvas.